everybody, I'm Quinn.
And I'm Scott. Welcome to the Almost Friday Show for May 13th, 2010.
This week in Off the Press, we're going to review Iron Man 2, and we're going to talk about Steam for Mac.
Yes, we should have a little roundtable review for you. I know, no, it's not late, actually, for a change.
No, not really.
We're very punctual.
Trying to be.
Yeah.
Either way.
From the gutters, we're talking about Siege.
In Tech Insight, we're going to talk about the HP Slate version 2.0.
Hurricane.
And Behind the Lens this week, we talk about Sony's new NEX series of cameras.
And then in Law of the Week, we're going to show you exactly why free software on the street is probably not what you think it is.
But up next, it's Off the Press.
Could we pick up now where we left off? Mr. Stark, please.
Yes, dear.
Could I have your attention?
Absolutely.
Our priority here is to have you turn over the Iron Man weapon to the American people.
Well, you can forget it. We're safe. America is secure. You want my property? You can't have it. But I did you a big favor. I have successfully privatized world peace.
We're adjourned for the day. You've been a delight.
Okay, give me a smooch for good luck. I might not make it back.
Go get him, boss.
You complete me.
Oh, it's good to be back.
You come from a family of thieves and butchers. And now, like all guilty men, you try to rewrite your own history. And you forget all the lives the Stark family has destroyed. There will be blood in the water, and the sharks will come.
Hey everyone, welcome to Off the Press. This week we're just going to have a spoiler-filled review of Iron Man 2. You have been warned.
Be prepared.
You've been warned.
Again, because I saw this movie before everybody.
Yeah.
I think I did really well.
You
did. So
You were holding it
Dave
in.
saw it Wednesday night, and when we recorded the show, said nothing about it during the show and nothing to us during production.
No,
so,
he was holding it in. I'm
did
pretty
well.
sure it didn't explode.
When
We were talking about it at the beginning, you looked like you were about to burst at the seams with it, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Overall impressions, Dave.
I liked it just as much as I enjoyed the first one.
Yeah.
Sean?
I really enjoyed the film. I don't think it was better than the first one. However, it was still one hell of a good ride. Like, it was very, very close.
I really liked a lot, well, all the action sequences. I liked a lot of them really, like the comic geek Easter eggs they put in, and I liked it.
Really
I actually
cool.
liked it a lot more than the first one.
Yeah, I'm with Sam. I enjoyed it a lot better as a movie-going experience than the first one.
'Cause
The first one was all build up the franchise.
Yeah, they didn't have to worry about character development and all
Yeah,
that
you're
boring
kind of like
stuff.
these are the developed characters now, so
Yeah.
let's just do stuff with them, and I think that went over pretty well.
Now, I do think someone made a really interesting point at the store today. There was character development involving
Oh, for sure.
Black Widow. We
Who I
saw
really
character
liked.
development with One-Eyed Eagle. What's his name?
Fury.
Nick Fury. And the guy who's probably going to be in the Thor movie, the other S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. There's some character development there. So there was a fair bit of character development. but it wasn't the main character stuff.
Secondary
Yeah.
characters,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're-
And there was
They're really
and
setting up for what's to come in the movie franchise.
Yeah.
They're the
some
Marvel
of the most
thing.
incredible character development, though, because it was done so efficiently, I would say, would have to be Whiplash.
Yes.
Mickey Rourke as Whiplash.
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
I didn't think he was going to be very good when I was going to see this movie, and then I saw it, and I was
well,
just...
Yeah.
because never read an Iron Man comic in my life.
Neither have I
Okay,
actually.
I don't know anything about the universe
I'm
whatsoever.
the only one wearing the shirt.
except for what I've gotten from the movies and from these guys talking about it and stuff. But like, Whiplash was an awesome character.
He was
Mickey
so
Rourke
good, yeah.
killed
Yeah.
that.
Which is weird because he was, and I've talked to a few people about this, he was like the Crimson Dynamo squished into Whiplash's
He was
powers.
just the right amount of crazy.
Yeah.
And, like he's crazy and weird and a little bit like.
But
off the
I totally
rails.
agree with Dave, though. Like, I thought he was going to be so lame at first. When I saw the trailers and I saw
Yeah, I'm like,
the
oh, this guy's
spoilers,
kinda
I'm just
lame,
like,
and then-
oh,
Yeah, I
come
wasn't.
on, electrified
I was.
whips.
Yeah, I was not excited for the character when I saw the trailers.
Yeah, he totally pulled the
Yeah.
the Russian gangster
Really well.
prison.
Yeah.
Really, really
physicist.
well.
So him then.
What?
Nothing, Sean. Nothing at all.
Sean doesn't have a gangster.
Just moving on.
No, I'm Tony Stark.
Special
I'm sorry.
effects. What did you guys
I
think
am.
of special effects? Because it's a
Great.
very special effects heavy
Great.
movie.
Very, very well done.
Very
the
strong.
drones alone
I didn't. Yeah.
I thought they were really well done because when they first came up on the stage, whether they used
they
an
had the
actual
little-
model,
Yeah.
Those are CG.
because you couldn't tell. They could have been literally just made of, masonite
Plastic,
or whatever,
yeah.
plastic.
There's a-
You wouldn't know.
There's more real armor in that movie than
Yes.
most people know. So.
Probably
However,
easier to shoot.
I think the
Yeah.
thing that really made me have my major nerd moment, I know for Sam it was a couple of things. For me, though, it was the suitcase.
Oh, that's nice.
That step-in suit, although it only shows up for a few minutes, was glorious.
And I think that was really a shout out to the comic fans.
It really was.
Yeah.
I think though it was really cool. I really did enjoy seeing it. It was
Yeah.
beautiful, especially when it clamped onto his body.
That was done
and
really
sealed
well.
It
Yeah.
was really cool. However, Happy lugging that suitcase around like, hey, I got it right here.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it weighs 500,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So
oh.
that was a little bit of
But if you the tech in this movie is not possible.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely
So
not.
you just kind of got to throw that out the window with literally everything. As much as I would love Tony Stark's basement lab,
Yes.
seriously,
It's-
if you've ever seen my room, you know it's trying to be that really hard. But I can't pull a particle accelerator out of my closet.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Oh.
That was the thing.
However,
The problems
I did
that I
find
had
plans
with
for
this, the problems that I had with this movie are, at worst, trifling. Because he builds a particle accelerator.
Okay, first off, that's way too small. You can't do
No,
anything.
no. You can't do anything, but you can build a particle accelerator the size of a
You
room.
can build a particle accelerator this big. It doesn't mean it's going to make a new element.
Yeah, it
but
won't make a new element, but you will
don't have all
accelerate
the crazy
particles.
computer shit either. So
Yeah.
I think we're just
The
nitpicking
hologram
here.
and stuff like that
It-
was pretty.
Yeah.
So,
As
so
an
yeah.
engineer, that bothered the hell out of me. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's not even 50 years away. That's
No.
like 100 years away.
It's a
But
comic,
the whole
the
particle
comic book movie,
accelerator
don't worry
thing,
about
yeah, there's some beef with the particle accelerator. However,
It didn't
it's
change the way I
Still,
watched
one
it.
of the exactly. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, you have to remember once again, step back. Tech is not completely real, and it's
But that's,
Tony Stark.
You know what? I think that's half the effect, right? Because
Yeah.
it's supposed to be make this Tony Stark character the all above. I have all this stuff no one else does because
Yeah.
I'm Tony Stark, and he's got that kind of like
And the fact
not
that he
holier than thou attitude, but kinda.
Well, he is. He's arrogant.
he's narcissistic.
Yeah, but he. I think it's carried out in an interesting way.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not because I typically don't dig on narcissism, but I didn't mind, and it was just like Justin Hammer. I hated
I
the
wanted to
character,
punch him
I-
so
but
much.
I loved watching him on the.
Yeah.
I
on the
loved
screen.
to hate Justin Hammer.
Exactly.
You know what,
Yeah.
though?
The perfect
I-
guy to be
They
that.
really did.
He
yeah.
was. He was perfect. But the only thing is, though, he was still so. I mean, I know you were saying he was a really good bad guy.
Yeah.
He was, but you know what? He was still so pathetic.
That's his
That-
character.
that-
I know,
That's what
but it was just so
Because
pathetic.
He's that because if you look at the stark contrast to Tony Stark, right?
Yes.
Tony Stark contrast.
yeah.
Tony Stark's is
get it.
this like all high, like my tech's the best, I'm the smartest guy, and
Yeah.
I know it.
And
Whereas
I'm
Justin
clever,
Hammer's
and I'm
like the
witty and attractive
exactly.
and
I have
rich.
Yeah.
everything you want,
Yeah.
and then Justin Hammer's like, I think I'm smart, but I'm not as smart as Tony.
All he has is money.
and- But he still tries to pull off that attitude, but then it fails him.
He doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when he gets And that was kind of really well exemplified when the magazine reporter
that was
brushes
the
him
way.
off.
Yeah.
And that was well done. Okay, now, because we probably have to wrap this up pretty soon.
Yeah.
Nerd moments, favorite nerd moments? I know yours is
After
mine.
the credits, holy shit.
Yeah, so spoiler.
Spoiler. Thor.
Someone's really killed Quinn.
Quick
I
comment
did,
on
yeah.
that effect. 99% of the people seeing that movie have no idea what's going
No,
on.
like
I heard the best
Very
comment
true,
when I
very
went
true.
and watched it on my own. There was a guy sitting there, and I waited till the end of the credits again for the
Yeah.
second one. There was a guy sitting there with his girlfriend, and he was like, "What the hell?" And she says, "It's Thor's hammer, you dipshit." I was like,
yes.
There you go.
"Oh my god,
No,
you're
I-
amazing."
We had this like giant bald guy who must have been in his 50s sitting right in front of us who's like, "Oh!" The second time I saw it, and everyone was like,
No, when I saw the ending,
Yeah.
I saw the car driving out in the desert. I'm like, Oklahoma. And then I saw the crater. I'm like, oh fuck yes, that's Thor.
The only thing's like Ashley went with us the first time.
Yeah.
And so like Scott said, a lot of people probably wouldn't understand a lot of what happened.
Yeah.
So she sat there, she's like, what the hell is that? Why is he using that to balance that thing? Why is it significant that it's perfectly level? What the
Don't
hell
worry
is that
about it.
hammer
And
doing there?
why are they being so? You
What's-
this? You want this?
Yeah.
And it was very like for the
Very
shield
blatantly like,
That
"Do you know
was-
what this is?"
To me, that struck me very much as you didn't see it in the first movie. Fine, here it is.
yeah. And that was for me though. Like
Yeah.
that was honestly that would be for me because I did not see it the first time.
So overall impressions, go see it.
Yeah.
If you
It's-
haven't seen it,
This
see
is a
it.
movie you
Go.
want to see in the theaters. Okay?
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
a
The
theater
action scenes are
movie.
worth it in the theaters.
do not download it. Honestly,
No, it's not worth
do
it.
not do it. Go see the movie. It's totally worth your money.
And this is
Yeah.
going to be an awesome Blu-ray when it comes out.
Oh, it's
Yes.
great.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
Because I saw Iron Man, the first one in Blu-ray. That was one of the first ones I
My
saw.
favorite Blu-ray still.
Such a great
Really
job.
well done.
Yeah.
Anyway,
2 giant thumbs up from me.
I can't give a score because I don't believe that complex thought can be put into a score.
I'm going to punch you in the face.
So 8 giant thumbs up.
So that's our Iron Man review. Next up, we're talking Steam on the Mac.
So we're talking Steam for Mac. Both Sean and I are Mac users, and both of us were using Steam prior to Mac. I've dual booted my Mac to just to play Steam because I do own the Orange box. So we were both really excited to see it finally get ported over to Mac, and also hopefully Linux in the very near future as well.
Yeah, there's a very big thing going on. Linux is a definite. It's no longer hypothetical. It's happening. Valve time once again for you Linux users.
So what's your impression on the application itself?
The application itself is actually kind of pretty. I mean, I like the new outlook of it because it's the same as PC, and this is the thing that I was having arguments with other Mac users. Like, oh, it's the same as the PC. That's a good thing.
Yeah, consistency is definitely something you
Exactly.
want, especially when they're playing into this whole play it at home, go home, and play it at work on different types of
It's
computers.
not even that. Yeah, exactly. It's the different platforms that's the big thing.
Yeah.
Because no matter if you own the games on your PC, it works on your Mac as soon as the Mac games come out. Because right now the biggest beef is
Yeah. I mean, I hadn't played Steam for a little while because I haven't been dual booted for a couple of months, so I actually like the new look of it. That was a
Yeah.
new refresh change for me. But my biggest problem right now is I own the Orange box and was really hoping to be able to start playing some Counter-Strike because I missed that game more than anything. And right now, if you jump on with the Mac, you can play Portal. Now, you do get Portal for free, which is awesome,
both
but that's
sides.
all you can play right now.
However, there are plans from Valve, and they have made good on this one. They're going to be trying to stick to this commitment of releasing all of the games for the Mac platform. If it's not going to be twice a week, it's going to be every Wednesday for the next few months.
Okay.
So every Wednesday, a new bit of the source games are going to be moved over. No word on other developers such as Infinity Ward and that sort of thing for for Call of Duty. However, it is on its way.
Well, Call of Duty is already available for the Mac.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That was one of the...
But is it a port or is it an emulation? Sorry, is it an emulation or is it a
It's
wonderfully
buy it in a CD and install it on your computer from a store.
So it's an emulation, which is shit. So wait till it comes out on Steam. Honestly, that's the other thing you see is that Portal is a native port over. It's not the emulations like Doom. If you bought Doom 3, is an emulation.
I don't think it's an emulation, but anyway, not the point.
argue about
So let's talk about playing Portal for a bit, as we both had very different experiences playing it. I'm not using really old technology. I'm about a year and a half back, which really isn't that bad for a Mac platform.
No.
Sean's a little bit newer. He's a generation ahead of me. We're both playing on laptops. He had great performance. I had terrible performance.
Yeah, for some reason, and think we've kind of figured out what the issue was. First off, Portal doesn't really support multi-core rendering. It shows that it does if you look in your settings. However, I think that's what's messing up with you. Is there some sort of rendering that's not happening? Because Quinn can't see through his portals.
Yeah, my biggest problem right now is when I fire a portal, I cannot see what's on the other side of the portal, which makes solving some of the puzzles really hard. I've played and beat
Near
Portal
impossible.
before and know what I need those for, and without being able to see what's going on behind it, it's very hard to time things. So
Yeah.
right now, I'm kind of frustrated because the only game I can play doesn't really want to play well. And even when I bring it all the way up to when I use the recommended specs and drop it down, it still doesn't want to do anything. So I've got mixed opinions on how I feel about the performance of it right now, because I personally found that it ran better when I had Steam on my dual boot Windows. So
Now, the other thing that was speculated on, unfortunately, was kind of this segregation of older tech. Quite literally, unfortunately, if you bought yours early 2009 is their designation, you would be lucky if you could play it as well as the late 2009, like my model. Of course, newest models are going to have no issue. But anything basically older than August of 2009, which starts the late, might have issues. So there is work on getting this fixed, because they do know like a lot of Mac users don't update every year. They don't upgrade every 2. So
I'm definitely not giving up on Steam. I'm hoping it's going to get better, and hopefully they'll bring out some patches or solve some problems. But really, I want to see more games before I can pass a final verdict on how I feel as a platform on Mac right now. But I'm glad to see that they're doing it. So.
yes, it's. I mean, I'm having a really good experience with it right now, so of course I'm apt to say that it's going to be pretty great. However, I agree with Quinn. More games would be great. I was really hoping for Team Fortress 2 and being able to play that at work.
Needless to say, if you own a Mac computer, you're going to get Portal for free. So go check it out, play Portal. It's a great game, and if it runs well on your system, then you'll really enjoy it. And if you like it, you'll probably get hooked into a bunch of other Valve games. So at the very least, it's worth checking out for a free Portal.
Do it.
Hi everyone, I'm Dave, and this week I'm all alone here from the gutters. This week we're going to be talking about Siege. I keep calling it The Siege. It is merely called Siege. This is sort of the summer event, one of the summer events that Marvel's going to be doing this year, and it is a 4-issue limited series. The last issue came in today, and I'm going to be doing sort of a rundown of the whole series for you, what I thought of it, that sort of thing. Siege is Norman Osborn invades Asgard. To give you a little bit of backstory, Asgard was floating about 100 feet over the Oklahoma desert, and it was basically where the Asgardians were making their home. Now, Loki is a troublemaker, and he got a bunch of the Asgardians to move to Latveria, which is the place that Doctor Doom rules over. Anyway, Loki also orchestrated various other events such that Norman Osborn had a reason, an excuse, to go and invade Asgard and just take it out. The Sentry gets involved. Now he is the superhero, which is basically Superman, kinda, slash Mr. Miracle, or Miracle Man, Marvel Man for the UK readers. And he said, you know what, take this whole place down. He goes in, destroys Asgard, sends it tumbling to the ground, and they have to start dealing with this mega powerful superhero who's turning kind of super villainous. Anyway, they have to deal with that. A lot of that gets dealt with in this issue, the 4th issue. And on top of that, they start dealing with stuff like Norman Osborn. Should he really be in charge of Hammer? Should he be in charge of the world's highest ranking cop? Well, I don't know. Maybe he shouldn't be. They start dealing with that in this issue, and it eventually gets dealt with in the New Avengers finale. If you want the whole Siege story, 4 issues, not too bad. The writer is Brian Michael Bendis. So again, super cool, super sexy dialogue, well plotted. And the artist is Olivier Coipel. It's a French name. When I called up Toronto, they're like, yeah, Oliver Coipel's going to be showing up at your place. And I'm like, it might be a little, okay, whatever. And it turns out he's from France, so his name is Olivier Coipel. What can I say about this thing? It was short. That's nice, because a lot of these summer events get stretched out way too long. The art, Olivier Coipel, I love his work. It's beautiful. He used to illustrate Thor, and really, I could pick a couple other people who could have done just as good a job, but he really made Thor look majestic. And his being picked to be the one to illustrate Siege was well done, I thought. Well chosen. So, all in all, Siege, I give it an A. And, yeah, the thing is, though, with Siege, it really does lead into a lot of other stories. So, there you go. That's it this week. Siege gets an A from the gutters.
This episode of Tech Insight is brought to you by your toothpaste. First up on the docket, we're talking the international iPad launch. It's finally been announced.
Yay!
Almost here.
Almost.
It is open for pre-orders, though.
Yes, pre-orders.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Most of us have had the chance to at least play with the iPad now, and
Not
it's better than we expect it to be.
I played with it at the store. It's all right.
I have a friend who has one. So, we're excited to see it hit Canada.
International launch date, which means Canadians, because we're on that. Oh yeah, you're not quite America, but second.
Yeah.
May 28th is the day.
There you have it.
Mark it on your calendar
Now,
if you were waiting.
is that 3G and Wi-Fi versions or just Wi-Fi?
I believe it is because there's pre-order on Apple's website for both right now. So I'm assuming it's
that makes
both.
sense. Yeah, that makes.
I don't see why it wouldn't
No,
be.
yeah,
No.
they're both out in the States. Why wouldn't they release them at the same time?
Now, for Canadians, Rogers announced some pricing for data. I don't remember the first tier, but the second tier is $35 for 5 gigs. Now, originally there was a $20 to add it to your already existing data plan, but apparently it's disappeared.
So that came out on an image leaked by something. It was never actually confirmed as a Rogers plan, I guess. And then Rogers kind of denied that. Thank God, because that's outrageous to pay an extra $20 a month to use data you're already paying for.
Yeah.
Even if it's another device. That's just crazy talk.
Is that just like being able to access your 1 gig of data?
No extra data.
Wow. All right.
Which is probably why they got rid of it.
Yeah.
Rogers took a lot of crap when the iPhone came out with their outrageous data plans. And to be honest, they're better, but they're not much better.
No, not really.
I'm really hoping that they got rid of it because they're going to pull a Spain, who has decided that if you already have data, they'll just give you another SIM card that you can use, and you can just use your iPad off your already existing data, which is awesome.
Which is the way you should be
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah, it
I
makes
don't
the
know
most
why-
sense, but when do companies want to not make you spend extra
have that
money?
offer for people who don't have smartphones or people who want separate data plans for whatever reasons, but let us use the data we're paying for.
Oh, come on. Please.
Absolutely.
And it's really surprising because Rogers has always treated data as data.
Yeah.
They've had very, relative to other carriers, loose data laws.
Yeah.
Or regulations. I don't know. And it's exclusive to Rogers?
I don't know yet.
I think for now it is until maybe some other
I'm
carriers
assuming
come
they
out of the...
signed some kind of 6-month deal or something.
Probably the
Probably.
same thing that happened. Well, not
Well,
the same thing that happened with
although-
the iPhone, because that was like
I wouldn't be surprised to see it trickle to Fido just because Fido already carries the iPhone
Well,
and is on the same and is the same
Fido
network.
is Rogers.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
I'd be more interested to see if it comes to Bell or Telus.
Yeah.
yeah.
Which I'm assuming it will eventually. Who knows?
I would really like to see it come to TELUS, because then
We'll keep you up to date.
Yeah,
See what
but-
happens. See if the iPad even really clicks with Canadians.
Yeah.
Who knows?
However, if you couldn't care less about the iPad or the iPhone because, well, you're one of the now majority Android users, there's some recent stats that you might be interested in.
So, who did the study?
NPD,
NPD?
yeah.
NPD group. They do a lot of
A lot of studies on
market
this.
share studies.
Yeah, this sort of stuff. So they did an online survey of 150,000 customers or consumers,
Yeah.
And they found that in the first quarter of this year, it's 2010, the Android market share rose pretty significantly.
More or less, more Android phones were sold in the first quarter of this year than any other phone.
Yeah,
That study was, I believe, done by hardware.
something like that. Yeah.
Because HTC had a number in there, so it was kind of, but when it all works out, more Android phones were sold than iPhones or Blackberries or whatever.
Yeah, but
I mean, let's be honest.
there are more Android phones.
The
than
Android
there are
market is
iPhones.
getting continually saturated.
Oh, totally.
And there's more phones.
Oh, keep in mind though, this is just in the States.
Yeah, this is
just,
good
just
to
in
know.
the-
It's a US, but
Yeah.
there's Android phones on almost every carrier now.
Yeah,
I don't
just
think
about
Sprint
every.
has one yet, but the Evo 4G's coming out. They have all these new phones coming out too, which look really
Yeah,
exciting.
and a lot of I read on the article that a couple of the carriers have a buy one get one free deal with the Droid
with some,
or
yeah,
some
some
other
of the lower
Android
Android phones too, like
Yeah.
the Hero, is that an Android phone?
Yeah.
HTC?
Yeah.
It should be noted that this was not including corporate purchases.
Nope.
Which is why BlackBerry did not blow them out of the water.
No, so in first place right now is BlackBerry at 36%, Android second place with 28%, and the iPhone is third place with 21%.
And that's market share by operating system.
Yep. So,
Not surprising that BlackBerry's ahead, because if you include all these crazy corporate clients, I don't think it's really worth looking at that.
no, and BlackBerry's been around the longest of the three, so.
For sure.
They have the longest track record
Yeah.
for an operating
Yeah.
system.
Android's finally ahead of iPhone. A lot of people thought this would happen last year,
Yeah, but
but I mean, it still happened, which means that they did break into that space.
Absolutely.
Which gives a little bit of hope for HP Palm to do something if they choose to make a phone.
hopefully they do something exciting.
Hopefully they make a phone.
Right now, I think they're like way at the bottom. They're even below
Palm's below other. Right
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
So.
And that includes WebOS and old Palm like Trios and stuff. So they need that to, buff their market. And I'm pretty sure that Symbian was not on there. Did Symbian make up some giant chunk?
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Not really. No, I saw the
it
chart.
should be-
Nokia still turns out phones every 5 seconds. but-
Worldwide, Nokia, Symbian's the biggest.
Yeah,
Nokia's the biggest
because
worldwide.
Nokia is still huge in like Asia
Oh,
and
yeah.
most parts of Europe. So
But we don't. Over here, we're like, no, I'm not paying for your unlocked phone. Get out of here.
yeah, it's kind of unfortunate, but whatever.
It's interesting. So there's the numbers. Good for Android.
Yeah, very good.
I would like to see a Canadian survey on a consumer basis, because Sam and I are having this conversation, and Canada loves some BlackBerry.
But I don't think Android's as big here as it is
There's
in
not
the
as many
States
phones.
because there's only really like maybe four or five phones.
That's not terribly fair. There's not as many phones. It's not spread out as much.
No.
On carrier-wise.
And also, like, the flagship Android phone, the Milestone or the Droid, just came out in Canada
And
like
it's
a month
only
ago.
on- well,
and it's only on one carrier right now, but, it's...
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I hope something good comes out to tear me away from the new iPhone, but right now I'm going new iPhone. It's kind of
Nice.
sad.
So let me ask you, Scott, have you always wanted Ashton Kutcher to follow you on Twitter?
No, but you know who I would like is Oprah.
Yeah.
I think she would appreciate what I have to say.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It turns out this week that someone had kind of stumbled across not so much a bug, but just a hole in the Twitter system. I believe it was a German user was attempting to type in that a German band called Accept Pwns, and that was the message she wanted to send out. And when he typed in Accept Pwns, all of a sudden the Pwns user was following him, and he suddenly realized that if he typed in Accept and any Twitter username, it would force that Twitter user to follow him, which meant that he could go and type in Accept Oprah, and Oprah would now be seeing his tweets in her stream,
But this
even though
bug-
she didn't want it to.
It didn't last very long, right?
Well, no, I mean, it got
yeah.
publicized pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
of
a lot of people's lists changed like crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, like...
A lot of the celebrities were just getting all kinds of
I heard
followers.
Conan got like
And
50,000
if you look,
followers
like-
or something.
Kind of on a smaller scale, but all the tech people who are big, like Leo Laporte and Tom Barry and all these podcasters, their lists grew like huge.
Yeah.
Because there's all those weird people who they have no reason to follow. Like they have no reason to follow me.
No,
they
no
don't.
reason.
But I could have made them follow me.
Yeah.
And I mean, like it was a short hole.
Well, Twitter responded really quickly when it kind of got.
They basically shut everything down.
Well, yeah, they
for a
locked
while.
everything down, and everyone had 0 followers and
Yeah.
0
Zero
follows.
followees,
Yeah.
Your
that-
feed was still good though. You could still
Yes,
read it.
because they were going to weed through and try and figure out what went wrong. But it turns out it was actually a bit of code dating back to earlier Twitter, where you could use command code to basically say, retweet this, and basically it was an action that you could do, because you can follow someone by typing follow and their username, and that works, and that's a legitimate code. And so at some point in time, they coded this accept username, and
Never took
someone
it out.
just forgot to take that part out apparently, and it kind of got swept under the rug. So.
And as of right now, there's no word on how the follower lists are going to be rehashed.
Nope.
Yeah.
Like right now, that bug's gone.
They could
But if
re-
you gained a bunch of people you were following, Twitter doesn't know which people were.
Yeah, they don't
done.
know who's legitimately
So
follow and
you
who's
have to
not.
go through your list as of right now and get rid of the people you don't want to follow, which could suck for a lot of people who.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
especially celebrities that probably
Yeah.
saw an influx of
50
tens of thousands
Yeah,
of people.
50, 60,000 people.
So good for Twitter for responding so quickly, but it sucks.
Kind
for a
of
lot
kind
of
of bad for Twitter for not knowing it was there though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little concerning when they're trying to grow it, make a name for themselves, really.
Definitely.
We talked about the tablet from HP, the Slate being killed.
Oh no.
Well, maybe not. They have slated a tablet for Q3. Hopefully this year is the rumors. Based on WebOS.
Yeah. Which I was talking about when we talked about HP was what I really wanted to see because I think it's a good operating system for a tablet-based computer. It's very touch-friendly,
Yeah.
and has a good navigation system with their panes and everything like that for multitasking.
I think it would work
so.
really well like on a bigger screen, like bigger touch screen.
Yeah, and I think
Not a
with
little phone.
more laptop-like hardware
Yeah.
inside, an Atom processor or something, the performance of that operating system has a lot of room to grow with a better performing computer.
Now, I'll play the negative side for a little while.
Sure.
It's called the HP Hurricane apparently, but the things that have been brought up is like this is kind of fishy because if that's a really quick turnover from buying Palm. They don't acquire Palm till July officially, like they've bought them, but they don't. They have to go through all the paperwork and stuff, right? So they can't really start development right now.
Well, I mean,
Like they can to a degree, but not legally.
I suppose. But I mean, Palm could be talking at HP right now and saying, "This is how you can install our operating system."
But at the same time, what people don't realize is you physically can't take the Palm OS and run it on x86 architecture. It runs on an ARM chip, which
Yeah.
is completely different architecture. So you either have to underpower your tablet or rewrite the code for the whole OS to work on a different architecture, which is not an easy task. No. So, yes, I want to see this product. Is it coming in Q3 this year?
My
I
suspicion
hope
is
not.
it'll
I
probably
doubt
get
it.
pushed back.
Maybe Q1 next year.
I hope not. I want this to be something good. I want this to compete with the iPad in a real way off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best thing for them would be to push to get it ready by Christmas and have it as a potential good Christmas present. That if they can swing that, I think they can grab a good market share. If it's a reasonable
This is
price
all
point.
just still hypothetical, right? It's
There's
still
no word from HP.
Okay.
They have, they did say about they want to work with WebOS. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a good platform to work with. They want to do tablets. We know that. The Slate's gone. We think.
They already have tablet-ish devices.
Not really. They don't have a portable tablet.
No.
They have their smart PCs. That
Yeah,
are-
they have their crazy flippy laptop thing too.
They've had those since
Yeah,
like
yeah, they've had those
1999.
forever. Yeah.
Those are pen tablets.
Yeah, that's slightly different,
But I want to see this go well. If it's coming out Q3, if it comes out at all this year, I don't think it'll be the best product it could be.
no. I really don't want them to rush it because that would just
No,
be
I don't.
unfortunate, really.
So hopefully, I do want to see a WebOS tablet. That's awesome. I hope HP puts some sweet hardware behind it. Take your time, dude. Please make us something awesome. Little wrap-up news. Natal got a launch date. No.
Not really.
Yeah, but no. But
So
kind of.
originally it was rumored that it'd be out in October by a
So Gamertag Radio got this
Yeah.
video from this guy in Saudi Arabia.
or somewhere in the Middle East. We're not
Saudi
really
Arabia.
sure.
Reliable.
And he said he was like a marketing manager or something for Microsoft.
So some retailer.
No, he didn't say it directly, but he kind of led them to
No.
believe he definitely knew the inside track at Microsoft and said, Natal's coming out in October. Like straight out. There was no like, ooh, I didn't really hear that. He said, well, yeah, it's October. So Microsoft, not very quickly, but they did come back and kind of put out a thing saying that, okay, this guy does not work for Microsoft. He is a reseller for Microsoft in Saudi Arabia. We don't.
That doesn't really mean anything.
That doesn't mean they know anything. I mean,
No.
maybe they have an inside track as a retailer. I'm sure you get a heads up.
But not this far ahead.
But like, I don't know. The only thing is, I really think they're going to push for a holiday release.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
most
So-
rumors point to November
Yeah.
for
So
Christmas.
I mean, this guy says October. Microsoft's probably like, 2 weeks later.
Yeah,
They look at
November.
November, and
November 1st.
you're done. So hopefully, I'd like to see Natal this year for Christmas.
We know you're excited for it. Maybe.
I want to play with it before I judge it, I think.
Yeah, good
I don't want
try
to
to-
buy it until I play with it. But I think if it's going to go anywhere, they have to do it before Christmas.
Definitely.
This year.
It would
Because they
make
talked
a great
about it
Christmas
last
present.
year.
Yeah.
They can't leave it till next year. No one will care anymore.
Yeah.
No.
So that's it for Tech Insight.
We'll be right back with Behind the Lens.
Welcome to Behind the Lens. We don't have a camera for you this week, but we are talking about camera phones, which is weird because we don't really do that in this segment.
No, but Sharp came out this week and said they are working on a 3D camera phone. So 2 lenses and I guess 2 processors in a really small form factor. We got a picture of it here with someone holding it in their hands just to give you an idea of how tiny it could potentially be. That can clearly fit on the back of a camera phone.
Yeah.
Or a phone, I should say. Yeah, looking for the wrong word there. But yeah, so not a whole lot of news right now. Really nothing outside of the fact that Sharp is planning on doing it and wants to have it in some next-gen phones. I think they're thinking either, probably early next year is when they'd like to see it break into some of the phones. So, it's some cool ideas. I'm assuming the phones that have it will probably be expensive.
I would imagine, especially at first.
And, they'll probably put it in some sample models, end of this year, early next year, but we might not actually see that technology till end of next year.
Is it doing stills or video or both?
Apparently it's claiming to do 720p video. So I'm assuming it's going to do stills as well. They never do video and not stills. But they are claiming to do 720p 3D video, which would be pretty cool. It'd be pretty impressive if we could start shooting 3D video off our phones. I mean, we don't need to, but it's cool that we can, I guess.
Yes, maybe. Sharp thinks so.
Yeah.
So we'll see maybe next year.
Yeah, if we see any phones that have it, we'll definitely talk about them. But in bigger news this week, Sony came out, and a little while back when we talked about PMA earlier this year, Sony had said that they were going to make some Micro Four Thirds style cameras.
This seems to be the new market to jump into.
It is. I really think there's been some rumors that Canon's making one as well, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Nikon follow because people want them. They're catching on. So Sony has announced their NEX line of cameras. Right now they've announced their NEX3 and their NEX5. We got a picture of them here. You can see the picture's kind of misleading because they look big, but to put it in perspective, the part that isn't the lens is about the size of a point-and-shoot camera. So very small. They look kind of weird with lenses on them, but they're incredibly thin. They're both 14 megapixels. The NEX5 is going to shoot 720p video.
Nice.
There's been rumors that there's going to be an NEX7 that's supposed to do 1080p video. Now, we didn't really know what they're going to do for lenses. I was kind of hoping they were going to use the A-mount lenses, which is currently what Sony's lineup uses. But realistically, they were going to be too big. Everyone else switches to smaller formats.
Yeah.
So they have come out with their new E-mount, is what they're calling it, and it is for their NEX line of micro cameras.
So we've essentially got our proprietary lines of lenses at SLR, and now we've got a completely different set at
We do. Yeah. Now, the nice thing about this lineup is that they're going to have a couple lenses right out of the gate. They're going to have a prime sort of, I think, 16 millimeter lens. They're going to have a range sort of 18 to 55, and they're going to have an 18 to 200 lens right out of the bat. That's more than the other companies have brought to the table right away. You're looking at somewhere between $650 up to about $1,400, depending on whether it's the NEX3 or the NEX5 and what lens you go with. The NEX5 with the 18 to 200 is around $1,400, but that's really not a bad price for an 18 to 200, as that lens typically on its own sells for somewhere in the range of $600 to $800. So, you got a good range of selection from it, and it does mean you can get into a rather compact camera for fairly cheap. So it's nice to see that style of camera is becoming cheaper, because initially they were around $1,000, and it was hard to justify buying something with arguably a little bit less performance over an SLR just for a smaller size.
Yeah.
So they're in a better price range now for sure. They're supposed to be available mid-summer. So check them out. I know Henry's and a couple other companies are going to be carrying them. If you happen to be out in Toronto, you won't see this video in time, so never mind. But they will be at the Henry's Imaging show this weekend in Toronto. If it doesn't matter.
If you had, if you enjoyed it.
Time travel. Go back in time. That's invent the time machine. Go see them.
Tell us how it was.
However, Sony's decided they're not going to stop there. They are also going to make an interchangeable lens video camera.
Which I would like to say is awesome.
Definitely. Now, Panasonic, we had talked about them making a consumer or a more professional level interchangeable lens camera with a price point around $6,000. Sony's kind of going the other way. They want to make more of a consumer-based camera. We don't have a name for the model yet. We don't have a price or a time frame, but we know it's in the works. And so my expectation is probably going to be around $1,000 to $1,500, which would be really decent to get a consumer video camera, but have that shallow depth of field and everything.
Is that $1,000 to $1,500 as a kit, or just for the body?
Don't know. That's me guesstimating a price at this point. But the nice thing about this guy is that it's going to be using the E-mount lenses that the other series has, but it's also rumored to be using the A-mount lenses. So you can use the full SLR size lenses on this guy.
Kind of
Yeah, so if you've already got a Sony kit, you'll be able to use it with this video camera, which means you don't necessarily have to buy the new lenses. Or if you decide to jump on the NEX bandwagon this summer and want to buy a video camera next year.
You're still set.
Exactly. So it's nice that they're using both lenses, and it's definitely going to open up the options for lenses to choose from. So I'm excited to see what it's going to look like, but we really don't know a whole lot about it now. That's about it for this week. I'll have an actual camera to review next week. It's been 2 weeks without it. I'm sorry for our viewers, but that wraps up this week in Behind the Lens. So, we all know Microsoft Office is a rather expensive program if you didn't happen to get some sort of bundle when you went to...
Or a student deal of some sort.
Yeah, exactly. So, if you're walking down the street and happen to be a PC user and don't own Microsoft Office and happen to see it sitting out there, I'd pick it up,
I probably would
Just to have it.
Yeah, it's free software lying on the ground.
Absolutely. But, if you happen to pick it up and it sets off an alarm... usually means you're going to make a stupid face or pull a stupid move. And that's exactly what our Law of the Week is this week. Someone's decided that they want to fit a small motorcycle alarm system or something of that nature into a Microsoft Office box and put it out in the public to see the reactions.
Ensues.
So we'll show you a couple of clips of the really funny reactions when people pick up this screeching box. So I think my favorite part is just some of the people when they jump. The guy that's walking up the stairs and sort of like flails all over the place.
Well,
that's
that's
a good
I was shopping
one.
for motorcycle locks online. I'm like, wow, I could be a real douche and stick this somewhere unsuspecting. Someone's gonna kick it and then all hell breaks loose. That would be pretty funny.
I'm always a sucker for comedy that involves just random people trying to get something for free, and it's like when they chase the bills around and stuff.
Like glue bills to the ground.
Absolutely. That wraps up our show this week. As per usual, you can hit us up on our Twitter feed, which is almost_Friday.
Right there.
Or you can send us an email at contact@almostfridayshow.com if you want to tell us we're doing a terrible job or that you've got something really cool we should review. But until next week, make sure that your cereal is in the top shelf.